Hello, everyone. Easter Sunday. This is the greatest day in the history of the world. It actually began last night at the Easter Vigil, but really this is the Sunday. This is the new day. This is the first day of the week, the 8th day of the week, the Lord's Day. It surpasses the Sabbath. Why? Because it's the new creation. It's the new covenant. This is the day when I just hope you experience so much gratitude, love, joy, today because of all that Jesus Christ has done, how much God the Father has done, how much God the Holy Spirit has done for you and for me and for everybody. We just hope that everybody kind of plugs into it, discovers, because this is the ultimate reason for joy. It's the ultimate reason for life, is because of what Jesus has done. First reading is taken from 1 Peter. No, the Acts of the Apostles, sorry. See, and one key thing about the Easter season is there's no readings from the Old Testament. I mean, the Psalms are there, of course, because they divide the readings up. But there's no readings from the Old Testament because we're in the New Testament, the New Covenant period, these 50 days between Easter Sunday and Pentecost. So weddings, funerals, baptisms, no Old Testament readings. And that's something really important for us to see. The liturgy, the church teaches us through her sacred liturgy, these fundamental realities of our faith. So, Peter, we are witnesses to all that he did both in Judea and in Jerusalem. They put him to death by hanging him on a tree. But God raised him on the third day and allowed him to appear not to all the people, but to us, who were chosen by God as witnesses and who ate and drank with him after he rose from the dead. He commanded us to preach to the people and to testify that he is the one ordained by God as judge of the living and the dead. So, the apostles, the ultimate before and after photo, they were so scared, they were terrified, they were men of uncertainty, before what's occurred here is Pentecost, by this time. So we're sort of going into the future, and then we're going to back up in the gospel to the resurrection. So the apostles have experienced the power of the Holy Spirit, and they're on fire with the Holy Spirit. And they still have their human weaknesses, but Peter now is able to go out and boldly proclaim and to teach all nations. That's what Jesus said, go and teach all nations, baptizing them. And so what he will do is teach the essentials of what Jesus has done, what we now call the kerygma, the elements of the good news. That Jesus has come into the world. We are witnesses. They put him to death by hanging him on a tree, but God raised him on the third day, and so on. So that we were created, we sinned, now we have been rescued, and we're called. What is our response to this? That's more or less the elements of the kerygma, the basic teachings. Everything sort of is all of our faith flows from those essential things. So and all of us, you and I, are now called to do what Peter did, to be witnesses to what he has done, what Jesus has done, what he's done for you, what he's done for me. Second reading, the one I always love to reflect on, is Colossians chapter 3. If you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things that are above, not the things that are on earth. For you have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. This is how we should be living. It's how we should strive to live day in and day out. Doesn't matter if you have 5 children, 10 children, 1 child, no children, celibate, single, priest. This is how we should be living. In different ways, mind you. It's manifested in different ways, but essentially this is how we should be living. Because you have been raised in Christ, seek the things that are above. So all of our entertainment, all of our socializing, all of our work, all of our domestic affairs and chores, it should basically be, in effect, informed by the fact that Jesus is risen from the dead. Seek the things that are above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things that are above. So everything you do, in effect, should fit according to this basic teaching of St. Paul's. So when you're doing something, if you're reading bad material, you're looking at bad things on the internet, or you're looking at good things, ask yourself, is this in accord with God's will? Is this, am I allowing my mind to be where Christ is seating at the right hand of God? Am I allowing my senses to be informed by good things or by bad things, or by things that are not doing it any good, like a waste of time type of thing. So short reading, but it's very, very important. Over to the gospel, and this is taken from St. John again. St. John is going to be prominent throughout the Easter season. So early on the first day of the week, again, that's Sunday, okay, the first day of the week for the Jewish people, that is Sunday. While it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb, okay, she sees it's empty, she goes back, says they have taken the Lord out of the tomb and we do not know where they have put him. Then Peter and the other disciple runs. John gets there first, but he doesn't go in. He waits for Peter, the elder, to go in. Peter goes in. They see the tomb is empty. And that's really one of the greatest proofs of the resurrection. Some people say, oh, yeah, his body was stolen. Why would you steal a body and not an expensive linen cloth? Like the wrappings are there, the shroud is there. Huh? So only he's not there. Why would somebody take a body? It's not like they could take it to a science lab. So all these people who talk about, the resurrection is not real. Well, the proof of the resurrection is, there are many, many proofs. The very fact that Jesus, we're going to have lots of time and opportunity to unpack this. But right now, it's the fact that Jesus is not there, but the shroud is. And the shroud is what a grave robber would have wanted. They would have taken the shroud and just sort of, taken it. Who cares about his body? These people had no respect for the dead. They just rolled him out, taken the expensive cloth and hightailed it out of there. That's what they would have been wanting to do. They don't do it. And as the thing covering his face is put in a separate place, John notes the detail. So again, it's the empty tomb. So reflect on the blessing, the grace of the empty tomb. It's a good thing for you and me to meditate on, because one day, like only Christians will get the opportunity to dance on their graves. When we will die at some point, but it doesn't end. And we will be able to dance on our graves. Jesus will raise us from the dead. Our soul continues to exist immediately upon our death. And at the last day, Jesus will raise up our bodies, reconstitute them, reunite them to our soul, and we will experience, God willing, the glory, the fullness of the resurrection in heaven. And that's not just pie in the sky stuff. That means, we aim our whole life to that. So all our decisions, all our actions, everything is sort of brought in line with, harmonized with that reality we believe in. So it's not just pie in the sky stuff. It's not just fanciful words. It's everything by which we direct our lives. So a blessed and happy Easter to all of you. And we begin the season of Easter, and the octave of Easter, these next 8 days, is like Easter day, each day. God bless you, and I hope you're able to be with your family, your friends, your loved ones, all those who care about you, and all those you care about. God bless you.